Y'all live on Facebook. Say what's up real quick, man.
What's going on? What's going on, Dante Nation fans? Bo Mac.
Bo Mac, Terence Crawford training right here.
Watching Dante's Boxing Nation.
Dante's Boxing Nation, what's going on, guys? So after a great night of boxing, Errol Spence, he completely dominates Mikey Garcia in a really good fight. Even though it was one-sided, it was still a good fight. Terence Crawford, he reacts to Errol Spence's win, and this is what he had to say. Mikey Garcia showed a lot of heart in there tonight, took a lot of punishment in there, and stayed in there. Props to Mikey. End quote. You know, I totally agree with Terence Crawford. There's no doubt about it. You have to give Mikey Garcia a lot of credit for going in there, getting in the ring with Errol Spence. Before Terence Crawford emerged, there's no doubt about it, Errol Spence was the most avoided welterweight in the division. Now he shares that title with Terence Crawford. But you know, Mikey Garcia going 12 rounds, that's a moral victory for him. When I hear these salty comments by Mikey Garcia fans saying, oh yeah, but he couldn't knock out a lightweight, that makes no sense at all. Because Errol Spence has made his career knocking out welterweights. You see, it would be different if Errol Spence, he couldn't knock out welterweights at all, right? And then he gets a smaller guy in the ring and he can't knock him out either. Then if you want to be salty, you could at least say, man, you can't knock out anyone. But Errol Spence has made a career, once again, of knocking out bigger fighters. I mean, that's like somebody saying, yeah, you knocked out all them grown-ass men, but you can't knock out no woman. It makes no sense. And furthermore, these are the same fans, once again, that wants Floyd Mayweather to come out of retirement at age 42 and fight Canelo Alvarez at 160. If they were to fight, knowing that Floyd Mayweather was at a complete disadvantage, and let's say Canelo won, it wouldn't matter if it was a split decision. Do you think any of them fans will say, yeah, but Canelo couldn't even knock out an old-ass 42-year-old, smaller Floyd Mayweather? Hell no, they're not going to say that. They're going to be jumping up and down, celebrating as if it's the biggest win for Mexico. They don't care about no knockout. All they care about is the W. All they care about is seeing the face expression on Floyd Mayweather losing for the first time. So please stop contradicting yourself. It's just amazing to me. These fans who gave Errol Spence no credit at all because he beat a fighter that they were supporting, these are the same fans that once again beg us to give their fighters all the credit in the world, even when they don't deserve the credit. Just give them credit because these fans like them. But that's not how this works. This is about speaking the whole truth. I mean, how are you going to ask for any level of respect when it comes to your favorite fighters when you know you go out of your way to discredit every single black fighter? But the funny thing about these Mikey Garcia fans trying to discredit Errol Spence for his dominant performance over their fighter, Mikey Garcia, is even when Terence Crawford was in this situation where he was fighting against a smaller Yuriorkis Gamboa, he actually got the knockout. And these same fans, they criticize him almost worse than they criticize Errol Spence for not getting the knockout. When Terence Crawford got the knockout over the smaller man, they were saying, oh yeah, but you knocked out a smaller guy, etc., etc. It doesn't matter what you do, because these type of fans, they're not basing this off of logic, they're not basing it off of boxing. They're basing this off of race, nationality, and pride. And instead of them just being humble, being honest and eating a little bit of crow and just saying congratulations to Errol Spence, even though I'm a Mikey Garcia fan, you got to give credit when credit is due. That's all they have to say. But instead, they want to go on the offense, posting comments like this: hold this L, my yates. Your best fighter couldn't even knock down a lightweight. Then he says, come May, watch how Mexicans knock out your heroes, LOL. He's referring to the Canelo versus Danny Jacobs fight. But do you guys see how these type of fans, they make everything about race? And when they make everything about race, no one ever responds to them and says, hey man, can you stop playing the race card? Now, when we report racism, they're quick to say, hey man, I don't want to hear that. But when someone is saying something that is race baiting, because that's a true definition of race baiting, then these fans that claim they don't want to hear about race, they don't even respond to the actual racist people. That's because those fans that say they don't want to hear it, they're just as racist as the people posting comments like this one right here. I told you guys, I have my account set up to where you guys don't usually see all of the racist comments that I receive, because my YouTube channel, it's set to basically filter out all of these racist comments, and it goes into this folder. And I'm telling you, that folder right now has thousands of racist messages towards black people. And a lot of them are using this exact word right here, mayate, and other racial slurs towards black people. One of these days, I'm gonna put all them comments together so you guys can just read them and check them out. But yet, these are the fans that got the nerve to ask everyone to give their fighters all the credit in the world, even when they don't deserve it, when they don't never give a fighter on the coincidental list credit at all. Like I said, it don't matter if Terence Crawford is knocking out somebody. It doesn't matter if Deontay Wilder, Tank Davis, Errol Spence, Andre Ward, Floyd Mayweather. It doesn't matter if any of these guys are getting knockouts or they're going 12 rounds. They're still being disrespected like this Mr. Mendez just disrespected the entire black race just because he didn't like the fact that Errol Spence dominated one of his favorite fighters. By the way, this Mr. Mendez, he's predicting obviously that Canelo is going to knock out Danny Jacobs. Let it be known for the record, Canelo Alvarez has never knocked out a fighter on the level of a Danny Jacobs. He didn't knock out Austin Trout. He didn't knock out Edislani Lara. He sure didn't knock out Floyd Mayweather. The only fighters Canelo Alvarez has knocked out are fighters like Rocky Fielding, Amir Khan, and who else? Who else did he knock out? James Kirkland. These are all fighters that Errol Spence would have actually knocked out as a welterweight, going up in weight. So it's just a foolish rebuttal by a lot of these ignorant boxing fans that once again are not basing things on boxing. They're basing everything off of race and pride. I always say it's nothing wrong with rooting for your own people. There's nothing wrong with rooting for your own people. But there's a difference when you root against a particular race and it gets to the point to where you're posting racist comments about them and you're making it extremely personal. I told you, when you go watch these boxing matches, it's beautiful when you see fans flying from different countries and they're waving their flags, fans from the UK, fans from Mexico, fans from Ireland, wherever, right? That's okay. But once again, once you start throwing rocks at the other team, once you make it very obvious that you always go against this particular race, and it ain't even about boxing anymore, that's when it becomes a problem. So if you don't mind some of these fans calling black people or black fighters mayates and other racial slurs, there's no way you should have a problem with someone reporting racism. You get it? You need to tell these racists to stop race baiting if you don't want to look like a racist yourself. Because we know what time it is at the end of the day. At the end of the day, Mikey Garcia, he deserves a lot of credit for taking this fight, taking this challenge. The good news for Mikey Garcia, I'm expecting him to come back as the same Mikey Garcia. I don't know. I mean, I've heard fans already say they don't think that Mikey is going to be the same. He did take a lot of punishment in this fight, but a lot of the punches he was catching too, because Mikey Garcia has always had a great defense, and that is part of the reason why he didn't get knocked out in this fight. Robert Garcia, he was very smart. His trainer, he told him stay close to Errol Spence in those later rounds. And that's what kept Mikey Garcia in the fight, because he was able to smother a lot of Errol Spence's punches. Even though Errol was still landing uppercuts and hooks to the body, he was no longer in range to land that long left hand that he was landing all night. And I think that did keep Mikey in the fight, even though Robert wanted to stop the fight after the 9th round. But I still think Mikey Garcia, if he wanted to stay at welterweight, he still would have a chance of beating fighters like Keith Thurman, even Sean Porter, even Danny Garcia. He would have a chance against fighters like that. But the way he's talking, it sounds like he's really thinking about going back down to maybe 135 and getting a Lomachenko fight. I still would love to see Mikey Garcia versus Lomachenko. That's a good fight. I'll close with saying this. If a non-black fighter beats a black fighter, you are not going to see too many comments online where black people are calling that fighter that won some racial slur, simply off of the fact that that guy won. Something else about this Mr. Mendez guy. See, this is what ignorant racist people don't get. When you start your post off with a racial slur, that means you see black people as mayates regardless if Errol Spence would have got a knockout or not. It wouldn't matter if Errol Spence knocked out a light heavyweight. He could have knocked out Canelo or Golovkin. You already had it made up in your mind. You call black people mayates. Y'all not fooling nobody. We know what time it is. And I don't give a damn how much y'all cry in the comment section. I'm gonna keep exposing you guys for what you are. Now, and I commend and respect all of the Mexican fans and non-black fans who expose racists like this, and they don't share the same views as this person and other racist people like that. But for the racists who say they don't want to hear what I'm dropping, but they love seeing people drop these mayate bombs and all that kind of stuff, I ain't got no love for you over here. That's a fact. But shout out to my man Town Business. He's the one that shared this message with me, or at least pointed it out. You guys subscribe to his channel. He works with me. I send him out to cover fights under my DBN banner. And shouts out to my man Money Pal III for providing me these screenshots of the actual fight. I'm gonna go and wrap this video up. That's all I got for now, guys. I'm on to the next one. Yep.